Hi Scrappy Peeps, it's Iris. I just wanted to let you know that I am posting several videos together, and this is the second one. The first one is me showing the state of my craft studio around mid to late January, so about 3 weeks ago. And I filmed myself tidying it all up, plus a little bit of organization of paper. And then this is the second one. This one's all about punches and scrap paper. Filmed at different times, but I felt that punches and scrap paper go together because that's what I usually punch out of. And then I will have another one that should be posting the same date, and that one's going to be all about washi and twine and some felt. But if you haven't watched the previous video, I do a much longer intro and talk about things that are coming up in the future in terms of organizing sort of a rough timetable. And we'll keep going from there. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. I am filming today my process for going through my stash of punches that I've been accumulating since I started crafting in general, probably since, I don't know, 2004, 2005. I know I started scrapbooking at 2005. I was quilting much longer than that, but I'm pretty sure I purchased a punch or two before then, before I started scrapping. So, uh, if you look at my before video of my old scrap room, I've been housing my punches in two of the drawers in my Bank of Alex drawers, the narrow ones. So here is one drawer, and these are the more frequently used punches and the bigger punches. And then the second drawer houses what became overflow, some of the smaller ones and less frequently used. Now, I've saved so many for just in case, but I have gotten to the point where I think I am ready to let go. So what I'm going to do is cull these down and organize them in the Alex cart that is across the way. So now I've gotten the wider drawers. I don't know that I can fit what I'm going to keep into one drawer because they're shallower, but I think they'll fit into two drawers, and even though they are wider, they are shallower. It might be the equivalent storage, but I think it'll be organized a lot better because they're not going to be jumbled all together on top. So I am going to just set up so my camera is facing what I'm doing, and I'm just going to get to it, and I'll probably be doing a speed up and voiceover for the rest of this video. Thanks. So let's get right to it. I first start off with the lower drawer because I thought that I would be getting rid of more from that drawer. This is the rarer used ones. I kept most of my long, they are EK Success punches that do like an scalloped edge and that sort of thing. And then these are Tim Holtz dies that I just can't part with. But then I have these Martha Stewart punches that do an edge and they also do the corners. And that's the kind of thing where it's like, well, I have a 40% off coupon. I don't know what to use it on. So I got rid of two of them and just kept one. Some of them are just, this style is, I don't know, too classy. Classy is not the right word because you'd think you'd want classy, but for me it felt too frou-frou or too old-fashioned. But I like the ones that have just other kinds of neat edges. I couldn't part really with, I did part with some of these. These are like harder to use punches, those ones that don't have a little handle. Then I went up to the top drawer and I just love a lot of these. Those are, that tag is too small for me. I just got rid of that one. But, you know, I can't get rid of my clouds. Circles and hearts are always so versatile. I see some washi had fallen into that drawer from when we moved.
and took the washi out, and I kept most of the punches up here. Some flowers, tabs, circles again, and I have a few themed ones like umbrella. The squares, I almost got rid of a couple of those, but I decided to keep them all. And now we move on to, that's my reject pile. This is the keep pile, which is much bigger and couldn't fit in one box. Now we move on to the wider Alex drawers. So I sort of wish that when I first got Alex drawers that these were available, that they hadn't come out yet. I really like this style, and I would have replaced all of my regular Alex drawers with these wide drawers, except that they are actually too short for a very comfortable desk. They work well for my computer desk, but I think for regular scrapping, they would be a little too short. And also, sometimes you need the depth, and these are shallow, but they are perfect for these punches because I can just line them up in one layer, and I don't have everything just jumbled together. As you see here, I lined them with the bumpy, foamy contact paper shelf liner. And then I wasn't even sure, I didn't have a plan, I just started putting things on. So this is the top drawer of the two, and my most used are tab punches, so I just went ahead and put those closest to me as I'm sitting down, which I guess doesn't really matter since I won't scrap on this desk. This is the drawers, bank of drawers that is where my computer and my printer are. Excuse me. So here I'm trying to group as much as possible, and you will see that I'm going to end up moving things around quite a bit. But I started off with my most used punches on top. Those would be the tabs and the hearts, because you can use hearts on just about anything. Clouds are my personal, like, I heard this term recently in the Get It Scrapped community that something is neutral, like theme neutral, and clouds to me are somewhat theme neutral. I do really like to use them mostly for like travel because obviously you're playing in the clouds, but I just love clouds. I would probably put them in every single layout if I could. And then down here is more of the utilitarian shapes. I have those hexagons are kind of my most recent punch purchase, and I love them. The circles, obviously, can't have too many circles. I did keep, you can see there on the top right, some of those little kind of corner edgers. Now I have that huge 2-inch, it's called Paper Shapers. It's a 2-inch square punch. And I used to have a Marvy that was not a true 2-inch. It was like 2-inch on the diagonal. There it is again on the bottom top left. This one is a true 2-inch square, and it is my biggest punch. It does fit so that the little handle sticks up high. It does fit on these shallow drawers. I'm so happy to see. So the Alex drawers don't come out all the way. They're about 2/3 come out, and then their last third, which is about 5 inches or so, doesn't come out. So you can't see too well on this angle, but when you're down more at the level, you can still see in there. So what I did was I put my bigger punches and lesser used punches towards the back. And those big ones are, a lot of them are these, they're Stampin' Up. The ones that they kind of latch shut and they're very, very big rectangle. Those work really well there because you can stick them in and then the front edge has the design. So if you can see, there's like a little sliver of orange. Oh, I just pushed it back. A sliver of orange that happened to be one of those, and it is a, that one's a leaf. That's, I can still see that. You can't see it right now from this angle, but I can still see it when I open my drawer. And with punches, just like a lot of things, if you don't know how they're going to fit together. It was kind of like a puzzle. It was actually quite fun. I'm not really a big puzzle person, but this was quite fun. Trying out different things to see how I can fit them all in, and I fit on pretty well. I'm pretty happy, and there's even a little tiny bit of space for more if I wanted, just a tiny bit. Those are clear tab covers that come with that tab punch. And here we are, real time. I'm just going to show you a quick glance again of how the drawers look. I will do a better job of looking into the drawer in an upcoming tour video when I actually, in real time or live, as it were, go and look into the drawers. Thanks for sticking with me, and I hope you enjoyed me organizing my punches. Scraps can be a tricky subject to broach and also to organize. Some people don't have time for scraps and don't have space for scraps. Some people only keep scraps that are bigger than a certain size, say 6 by 12 or 6 by 6, or even cut all their scraps down to journal card size. I am in the camp that I like to rifle through scraps. Sometimes you are delightfully surprised at combinations you can come up with, or find this little tiny piece that you just needed a little smidge of something and you didn't really want to cut into that 12 by 12, right? So if you've seen my old room scrap tour, old scrap room tour, that is, I started off this journey with two of these fabric bins. The one on the top right, which is sort of like a chevron with gray and blue on the side. And it is currently there on the screen housing anything that was colored. So that's pattern paper and cardstock that was colored. And then the other bin, which is not pictured here, because I already took the stuff out of that bin, it was a different one. It had a lid, and the lid bothered me to no end. The scraps kind of bulged out the fabric sides of these. These are all fabric bins from Target. It bulged out, and the lid wouldn't close right. It drove me nuts. So I just emptied it out into these other ones, and I started dividing up my categories further than I had before. So I started off with 2 bins. I'm going to end up with 3. All 3 of these fit in the Recollections, Jetmax, whatever you want to call them, Michael's Cubes, that have the bottom drawer and a top shelf, or just a drawer and a shelf, so it's divided in half. These fit perfectly in there, and I'm going to end up with 3. I discovered that when I'm rifling through even just the cardstock bin, it drove me nuts because I'm just looking for a piece of white paper, either to do a sample stamping on, or scratch paper, or I just need white cardstock for something, but I don't need a full sheet. So here I'm dividing up anything that's white, and I'm talking white and just the barest hint of cream colored, off-white, into one bin. And then I am putting all the colored cardstocks, plain papers, into another bin. So here I just tackled the one that was all the neutral cardstocks, and now I'm tackling the pattern papers bin that also has colored cardstocks and putting it into this other one. So and the third thing or fourth thing, I'm losing track here. It gets crazy narrating these videos when it's been a while since you actually did the thing. I am removing any vellum, because when I think of vellum, I don't think I need a pink colored vellum or I need a print vellum. I just think I need vellum, and then I want to go through the vellums and see what I have. So that's what I'm doing here. And having a good size bin, box, whatever you want to call it, where I can rifle through works for me. I like that. Way back in the early days, I would file my scraps by color, and it's just too labor intensive to either file it or look for it. I like this better. This works for me. So if you think that would work for you, I really recommend just getting a couple of bins or boxes, whatever, and just having a couple subcategories. And in this case, I'm going to have pattern paper. The other one is all solid papers, both colors and neutrals. And the third one is just plain white paper. And this is what's working out for me right now. I hope you've gotten some good tips from here, and I'll see you next time.